and you're supposed to slurp audibly. It's impolite not to slurp.
Hey, I'm Xenia. I'm the host of the Woke and Wired podcast and founder of Breakfast Criminals. And I am in Arizona to interview Dr. Andrew Weil, pioneer of integrative medicine. We're gonna have some matcha, have some cacao, and I have a great conversation that I'm going to share with you.
Every time I see this like once every week, and like each week the growth is just astronomical. Wow. This is the garden.
So who tends to this?
Dr. Weil, mostly.
This is so abundant.
Eats from the garden
Wow.
every day and shares with his peeps, if you will. I get pretty excited when I come out here. I'm like, oh, lettuce from the garden, it's the best. These are Brussels sprouts, which are difficult to grow.
Oh, yeah.
And he just started growing them and they look like they're doing really well.
Wow.
And it's all organic. He doesn't use any pesticides. It's all, like he uses neem, I believe, for worms and whatnot. There's dill. Oh, you gotta grab some of this and smell it.
We're about to go in and drink some matcha that Dr. Weil is gonna make for us, is that right?
Absolutely.
I'm very excited.
The man himself.
This was a gift to me, and this is a classic kind of wabi-sabi Japanese bowl. And this was a friend of mine in Japan made that. Andre and I looked at, we're in a Japanese ceramics place in Kyoto, and I mean, they had amazing bowls, but the prices on them are just astonishing.
Really?
It's interesting though, there were a couple of those black bowls that we had, you know, while we were looking at these other bowls, this person who has this gallery was saying that, you know, each bowl, you know, carries the energy of the person that crafts the bowl. And I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of cool. I understand what he's saying, you know, but then I picked up this one crazy awesome black bowl by this third generation pottery master. And like my hands felt warm and I started to feel the energy and it just felt like it belonged in my hand. And I was like, wow, there's truth to that. And I witnessed it firsthand. And I was like, I want this bowl. And I tried to over. I have to save up a little bit.
Thousands,
yeah. It was like $500. It's a good story.
Wow.
So I just got a little sake cup. But you could definitely tell, you know, like that there was some energy that was within the bowl from the artist. And to listen to him tell the story about this artisan, you know, being a third generation, you know, 150-year family lineage, making the same type of pottery, you're like, okay, I can understand, you know, the monetary value. Brilliantly green it is.
Wow.
Bright.
Can I smell it?
Absolutely, yeah. I was just going to recommend that.
So sweet.
Doesn't it? That's how you know it's really good quality, when it has a very pleasant aroma to it, and it's just a brilliant bright green.
So I only learned from matcha curry that you have to keep it in the freezer.
It oxidizes so fast on exposure to warmth or light, and that's how it loses its color.
I see.
So I think it's best to keep it in the freezer.
But then is it a problem when you have cold matcha and hot water? Does that impact the chemistry of it? No. Okay, so what's happening here?
Well, I harvested a lot of turnips from the garden yesterday. They're Japanese turnips, and I'm making, this is a traditional Japanese pickled turnip recipe. So they've been salted and sitting overnight, and now I'm going to put the kombu and chili on them and put this little marinade on them, which I have to make up. So we're warming the bowl and softening the whisk.
Oh, you need to soften the whisk.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. And then I'm going to dry the bowl out.
All the steps. Do you actually follow them every time?
Yes, that's pretty simple. And then I'm going to put in sifted matcha.
So I heard that you outsource the sifting.
I outsource it to my wife. She's gotten very good at whisking it and making a good crema.
Do you have to think any special thoughts while you do this?
Just total concentration on what you're doing.
It smells incredible.
And that's not, I mean, they're larger bubbles than she makes, but it's pretty good. You approve of that?
That looks delicious, yes.
I approve.
Would you like to drink that?
I would love to drink that.
Please do.
So this is complete.
That's complete.
That's one serving. So you
One
do
serving.
this whole thing with each bowl.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy. And you're supposed to slurp audibly. It's impolite not to slurp.
Wow. It's so potent. It feels almost like a espresso equivalent.
Yeah, right. Matcha is very good with a small piece of chocolate.
Yep.
Take a bite of chocolate and then sip of matcha. It's really good. The combination is great.
Yeah, let's see. So do you...
I'll take a bite, chew a bite of chocolate, and then a sip of matcha.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like all the bitterness gets softened.
exactly.
Okay, so I can't get myself to slurp. Maybe I need a bit more of context. What does it symbolize?
Well, in Japan, it's impolite not to slurp when you're eating not only matcha, but soup and noodles, especially. It's supposed to be a way of showing appreciation for what you're eating.
I remember in China when I went, men when they eat, they expose their bellies.
That's rude.
Yeah, they're literally like pull up their t-shirts and they
Really?
and the bigger it is, the better.
I like that chocolate a lot.
They were, I think, the first company in the U.S. to make their own cacao butter. So I think, even on a metaphysical level, like most chocolates, they separate the cacao and the powder,
Yep.
and then they source them from different places in the world. You don't know what the energy's like. And I think that really impacts the integrity of it
Yeah.
on every level.
Huh. And they're based in Missouri?
In Springfield, Missouri.
Huh.
Yeah, we talked on my podcast. We talked about using business as a way to connect with the divine.
I like it.
This hand's very handsome.
When they put their head like that, you just can't say no.
Well, that's he's got a very big head. Sometimes I'll come up and there's nobody here and he has his head on the table. I think it's comfortable to rest his head.
I just saw him over there on the chair doing that all by himself.
Yeah, right.
Give his neck a little break.
Right, like he's like, my head is heavy. I need to rest it right here.
I love these bowls.
I love that sort of rough. Yeah, they're great.
Thank you for the matcha.
So good.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. Wow. It's like my body, when I drink cacao and matcha, my body just sings and my brain's just so open.
Well, in Japan, usually you're served a sweet before you drink the matcha, but their sweets are pretty boring. They're usually like these little sugar wafers.
Right.
And the chocolate is really good. Does the same purpose better.
I might want to take one of these dogs with me.
I read them out.
Redeems and Ridge Rentals.
Andre,
Yes.
so who are you?
Who am I? It's a loaded question. Well, I work with Andy. I've been a friend of his, since 1999. I met him through a friend of mine. We've been working on and off together for, 20 years. It's been a hoot, a lot of fun. I met some cool people. Recently, the last couple of years, we've really gotten into matcha after I went with Dr. Weil on a trip to Japan in 2007. Really got into matcha then, came back to the States, couldn't really find it. A couple years passed, and 2016, I just said to him, I said, man, we gotta do something with matcha. So we started reaching out, and we were fortunate enough to get matcha.com, which was quite an awesome undertaking. Interesting story there, I'll share at another time. And then over the last year, matcha's just really been taken off, and it's been a wild ride. Met some cool people, and love when people drink matcha. Similar to the cacao ceremony, it just kind of opens them up and makes you feel good, and it's a beautiful color. It has been a wild ride. It's been up and it's been down, it's been up and it's been down, but it's been a labor of love, and couldn't imagine doing anything else. And we're super fortunate to be connected with Andy, and he's the OG, if you will. Been doing matcha probably before anybody else, so we're really fortunate to be able to team up with him to do it. It's very rewarding when people call or email or say, hey, I had matcha and it changed my life, and that's really what makes it worth it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing the good work. Nick has been super instrumental in getting matcha out to the people. So
Matcha to the people.
matcha to the people.